to get a treadmill.
Or just walk the fuck outside. Right?
That is true.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
am I wrong? Like,
Yeah, I don't think you're
Jesus
wrong.
made a huge treadmill
For
that
you.
sort of spins every 20. I'm just.
If you get a dog, it's almost like a timer.
It's like, welcome back, guys, to Cases of Cocktails. This is episode 35. I'm here again with my beautiful wife, Janice. How are you doing?
Fabulous. How are you?
You look amazing today.
Thank you. Look amazing every day, but thanks.
Every day. Yes. Nice. Well, I will agree with you. How about that? Is that fair?
Yeah.
Just trying to get me in trouble? We haven't even started yet.
It's been a long day.
Is this because we have a special guest here who can write me out of the will?
Yes.
Is that what it is?
Just as soon as we get some.
That's fair. Guys, we are here today. We are very, very lucky. We have a special guest today with us, Riley Alcozer, and she is here. She's an attorney who does wills, estates, trusts, all the good things, and she is going to help us figure out exactly what we need to do, what Janice and I need to do to protect. I think I have a duffel bag with some college jerseys in it.
You do.
That's it. That's the only. Those are the only assets. Is that enough for a trust?
You know, anything can be. But I do some specific bequests for things like jerseys. I'm like, okay, help me understand how to describe that. I didn't play sports in college. I was on the debate team.
I love it. I love it. How are you doing today, Riley?
I'm great. I'm excited to be here.
We are excited to have you. It is Cases and Cocktails, and we were told.
I'm excited.
Well, we were told in preparation for this, we were told how excited you were for the cocktails part.
Yes,
So,
I was.
Is that fair? No, I think I'm excited for the cocktails part.
Well, Jillian said you don't have to drink it. And I was like, why wouldn't I drink it?
Why am I going?
I'm like, it's just a prop.
So before we get started, I want to ask this question. What is your favorite adult beverage?
I'm on a French 75 kick right now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very good.
Nice.
Yeah, it's just like light and summery, you know?
Summer, it's easy, yeah. Do you pick a new one for each season?
It's more of like a vibe check.
That's
like
fair.
it's feeling right now, and maybe it won't in a
That's
few
fair.
months,
That's
and then
fair.
I'll go back to like a glass of red wine or something. I don't know.
Fantastic. What are your thoughts on tequila?
I like tequila.
Okay, good, because we're doing tequila. You don't know this about me, but I'm a huge tequila fan. Literally.
Since COVID.
Since my thing. But I'll say this. I had recently had a gin drink that we had on one of our episodes, and it was good. It was good.
You were nervous.
I was nervous because I'm not a big gin drinker. Are there any that you don't like in particular?
I'm like not a big vodka girl.
Okay, don't do vodka.
Yeah, I mean I'll do it
Yeah.
in a pinch, but it's not my preference.
I'm not. Neither Janice nor I. We don't drink wine.
Really?
Yeah, we go places all the time. People are like, here's the wine list. And our
Yeah.
friends are drinking wine, and we're like, yeah, I'm going to take tequila, and she's going to do bourbon. Probably both of them on the rocks as they come.
You guys are strong people.
We're just not. We're not messing around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
I like the taste of wine. I get terrible headaches.
Yeah, that's my husband.
All right, we do have a wonderful drink today.
We do. Fernanda made a Peach Tequila Cooler.
Ooh.
𝒞𝒶𝓈𝓈 peach, nectar, lime, and topo.
Yum.
Sugar on the side.
I'm sure.
All right.
She always makes it pretty.
It is so pretty, and I like the cups.
Let's see. All right, I'm gonna try to pick this up. I have to move mine a little bit. To
Not
be
sticky.
So sticky. A little bit of
Cheers.
Like I don't want to mess up your microphones.
Oh no, it's all right. Josh doesn't mind. Is that right, Josh? Look at that look. Look at that look.
No, I'm nervous.
That's good. I like the peach.
That's summary.
I can do that. Reminds me of a Bellini.
You didn't strike me as a Bellini guy.
I'll be honest with you. The very first time I had a Bellini was when my parents made one in a blender when I was about 8.
Oh,
Wow, they give you
10?
booze at 8, huh?
10. baby?
early.
I'll be calling Papa later.
Yes. My parents used to make Bellinis or daiquiris probably twice a year. And that would be about it. Other than that, they didn't drink at all, other than sweet tea. So anyway, enough about me and my glorious upbringing. How about we talk a little bit about you, Riley? First of all, first and foremost, how long have you been a lawyer?
I have been a lawyer for 5 years, but I've been working in the legal field for 15.
Fantastic. What did you do before you were a lawyer?
I decided I was going to be president of the United States when I was in high school, and a lot of presidents of the United States are lawyers. And so I started working in a law firm when I was 15, 14. And then I went to clerk at the Capitol, and I thought it was terrible, and politics was so horrible. But I was like, well, I'm already a good bit of the way down the legal track, so I'll ditch the president piece and just be a lawyer and settle for less.
That's fair. That's fair. That's awesome. How long were you at the Capitol?
Like a semester, and then I quit with no notice.
Really?
And now I've never showed my face there again.
Were you just like, I'm done? It was
Yes, it just felt icky. It felt really icky.
Yeah, it can be that way.
Yeah.
It can be that way. You not only are you a lawyer, by the way, you pretty much own your own firm, right? You got a partner, right?
I have a partner, and we have 12 lawyers and 12 or 13 other people on our team.
Fantastic. That is
amazing.
fantastic. And what do y'all do over there?
We do estate planning, so kind of drafting wills and trusts and powers of attorney and things. We do probate after people die, kind of handling the transfer of assets. We do guardianship when people can't make decisions for themselves and they need kind of someone with court's permission to make those decisions. And we do fiduciary litigation. So anything that touches a fiduciary relationship, we fight about it. So
Nice.
business divorces
All the good
and will contests and trustee disputes and that sort of thing.
So you have to do this. It's imperative. You have to plug your firm and then the website. So go ahead. What's your firm name?
Okay. The firm is Hardy Alcozer,
All right.
and the website is hardyalcozer.com.
Nailed it.
Thank you.
Hey,
Thank
look, she
you.
did great, didn't she? She did great. She crushed it. We were before we got on to the podcast. We were talking a little bit, and if it's okay, I want to share a little bit of insight. Josh had walked in, and you made this wonderful comment. Josh asked you what you did for marketing, and you said random acts of marketing is what you do. Which is even better because your husband, who you love, does legal marketing.
Yeah, he will cringe that I acknowledged. And listen, it's not for lack of trying. He's like, we got to get a strategy in place, and I'm like, it's working. This is working.
We got
Why
this.
mess with it? Why mess with my random acts of marketing?
All right, so no, we are not going to sit down and make everyone watch you do a will for Janice and I.
That would be productive.
No, instead, what we're going to talk about is something I read on the internet the other day, and Josh, he's the one that sent it to me. It says you can just you just put everything in a trust and it solves all your problems, right? Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Is that not what? That's what we said.
That's what the internet often
That's it.
says. I'm like, was it Susie Orman? She really loves to say a trust solves all your problems.
It's just not that simple, is it?
It's not that simple. Yeah.
Let's start here first and foremost. I want to talk a little bit about divorces and trust and that sort of stuff, as well as divorces and wills and estate planning. In a divorce, and that when people are going through divorce and that sort of stuff, if there's a trust involved, that's where you would step in.
Generally, yes. And it all depends on kind of the nature of the trust. Like certainly most of the time we get involved when they're irrevocable trusts in the divorce context. Most of the time in a revocable trust, we don't need estate lawyers to kind of join you guys. It's just we're taking it out of the joint revocable trust and splitting it as normal.
It's revocable, so we're
It
going
is.
to revoke
We just
it.
revoke it. Yeah,
that's exactly
you got
right.
it.
Nailed
You know
it.
estate planning.
Man, I'm telling you, I'm going to get my own TikTok channel, and I'm going to do this.
Yeah. Please tell everybody that trusts solve all your problems.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, Josh has been trying to get me to do that for a while. He said you'd be so much better at irrevocable and revocable trust on TikTok only, though. So.
Yeah.
No, that's fair. Any complications that you deal with often when they are irrevocable, or?
Yeah, I think, we say a lot of times, most of the time, irrevocable trusts are set up for tax planning purposes. So there are lots of income and estate tax reasons to set up irrevocable trusts. Most of the time, people's lives are not 100% tax led.
Right.
And so there are a lot of times where lawyers come in and say, this is the like 10 out of 10 best tax strategy without any consideration for what that means in your life.
Right.
And so, for example, a lot of clients get stuck in irrevocable trusts and then get divorced. And that was not contemplated in any of the irrevocable trust planning. And there's just not a whole lot of room for error. And as you guys know, in your line of work, families change, people change. And so every irrevocable thing we talk to clients about for months because it just getting out of it is nearly impossible and has giant tax consequences.
And that's the issue, right? It's when you're doing it, hey, my wife and I or my husband and I, we're here and we're
madly in love.
Right.
We will be forever.
Right,
Taking notes. Only revocable trust.
Thank you, by the way.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. And so, they come to you and they're like, hey, I want to do this. You can't talk them out of it, right? I mean, is that...
I can be very persuasive.
That's fair.
I mean, most of the time we just take a step back and I feel like it's the internet thing, right? It's like the internet says, I need asset protection. The way to get asset protection is trust. Maybe the way to get the asset protection from the trust is the irrevocable trust. And once we take 15 steps back, I'm like, what problem are you trying to solve?
Right. Yeah.
And really, if you're not worth a ton of money, an irrevocable trust doesn't make sense.
What you're saying is just because I own a house doesn't mean I need an irrevocable trust.
Correct.
Right? Homestead exemption is going to take care of that.
Homestead exemption will take care of you.
Is there a space where you tell people, hey, look, you don't need a trust? I mean, is that something you kind of sit down and kind of go through that and say, hey, look, probably not the best fit or best option?
And I tend to say, like, I think our job as lawyers, and I don't know if you guys feel this way, is as their counselors. So I can say, hey, the internet is going to tell you 100% you need a trust. In Texas, that's not really true. The reason you get a revocable trust, is to avoid probate. Right. And the probate and process in Texas is not bad at all. I mean, it's a $5,000, 6-month kind of process on average. And so there's certainly reasons to avoid that. And I can talk through those. But when clients don't have any of those reasons that make me say, hey, you have property outside of Texas, that's a reason to have a trust. Mm-hmm. You have kind of assets that would quickly depreciate, like clients with a business. Those are clients I tend to say, let's talk about a revocable trust. But beyond that, I'm kind of like, it's a 50-50 decision. We can do more work now and more money now setting up the trust and keeping it funded, or we can do the simpler thing now and know that your beneficiaries will have a little bit more work after you die. And so I would say our clients are pretty 50-50 on trusts and wills once we kind of walk through the reasons.
If you don't go to a trust, then it's just basically a will. Is that right? I don't want to oversimplify that.
No, it really is. It's you either do a trust-based plan or you do a will-based plan, and those are kind of the options. And even with a trust, a trust is only as powerful as its funding. Yeah. And so a lot of trusts I probate because people set up this fancy trust and then never put anything in it. And so then we have what I call an oopsies will. It's actually a pour-over will, but it's oopsies, forgot to put my assets in the trust. I use that will to get the assets in the trust. So I really have done at that point the same as setting up a will.
For people that don't know, what would prompt you to make a recommendation to someone, hey, you need a trust, and what's the benefit of it?
Yeah. So I would say kind of top reasons I recommend people get a trust is, number one, they have property outside of Texas. So the probate process, the states don't talk to each other. So if I have a house in Texas and a house in Colorado, I would have to do that probate process in Texas and in Colorado. Mm-hmm. So using a trust is a really great tool because we can skip that probate process in those two states. People with minor kids that are expensive, that their guardian could not take care of them financially in that interim period is one, because generally in probate, your assets are, and I'm oversimplifying it, of course, but your assets are largely locked down for some period of time. We can't use them to take care of your kids. And so, if I have clients who have kids in like fancy private schools and their parents are going to be their guardian, but couldn't spend 6 months of tuition, that's clients that we at least will partially fund a revocable trust. There's a privacy component. Trusts, unless you sue over them, never end up in public record, nor do your assets in the same way that wills and inventories can. And generally, other than that, it's kind of if you were, I am a type B person in my personal life. Like I would never make sure every asset of mine was in my trust.
Right.
And so I'm not a good candidate. But when I meet with engineers and they're like, here's my color-coded asset list, I'm like, you actually could save your beneficiaries a ton of time because you're not having to go through.
You're not dragging all of it over. And
exactly.
That sort of
And, COVID changed a lot of this because it used to be you have to come in person to kind of administer the estate. And we've all kind of figured out how to do things virtually. So it used to be if you have beneficiaries all over, I would say, yeah, let's go ahead and put everything in a trust so you don't have to come here.
Right.
And that's just not as compelling of a reason anymore.
Interestingly enough, in 2025, you don't have to drive all the way to Pecos County to do a withdrawal here. I'm just saying. You don't have to.
But if
you don't
judge
have to.
says you do,
Yeah.
you do.
Do this
to go.
thing where you could appear. Anyway.
Yeah.
Just
I
saying-
have some similar complaints.
Yeah, there you
yes.
go.
Maybe don't take a case in Pecos County if you live
That's a
here.
fair statement. Part of it, though. That's part of it. Just real fast, too. Whether you have, if you have a trust or a will, right? And I'll bring it back to a little bit of divorce here. You got a trust or a will, either one, and you're going through the divorce process, and you die before you get divorced, that trust and that will is sort of the controlling division of those assets at that point. Those assets are going to get moved over to the spouse at that point.
That's exactly right. And I feel like that is something a lot of people don't know is there is a Texas law that says once we have a signed divorce decree, as I'm sure you're sure, we pretend like your spouse, now ex-spouse, and their family have predeceased you. So if your spouse is named first as beneficiary or executor, they're out of the picture. But I mean, I probably on our firm's docket right now have 10 where we were in some part of the divorce process and people die.
Pass away.
Yeah. And so what I tend to say, but it's hard because you also have to worry about standing orders. And so I'm also really nervous to do much with trusts when people are
Once
going
it's
through a
been
divorce.
filed. Yeah.
And so a lot of times what we do or we advise clients is we say, let's write a holographic will. Like, let's say, hey, I am going through a divorce. If something happens to me during this time, I would rather my spouse not inherit my stuff.
That's a fair statement. And you feel comfortable doing that?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
And I mean that, not you feel comfortable you know what I mean? But I feel like with the standing orders and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, because I think you're not determining anything about a divorce outcome. You're saying, hey, if I'm in this period, and I've done it with divorce lawyers, blessings. I tend to say, a lot of people contact us to try to circumvent their divorce letter. And I like to say, because it also depends, I think, on how contentious the divorce is and where we're moving your assets. Like if we're saying, hey, I don't want to leave it to my spouse, I'm going to leave it to our joint kids. I feel less nervous about that. If you're like, I will now be moving this to my boyfriend. I'm like, yes. I'm like, shall we talk to your divorce lawyer first?
Before we write all that down in writing.
Exactly.
Right?
I'm like, that could be discoverable. Yeah.
Let's have a conversation about that. That's fair. I'll be honest with you. When you said that it happened, you've got almost 10 on your docket now. It is something that happens. It's something we talk about oftentimes in mediation. Get a partition agreement with a mediated settlement agreement. So that way at that time, while we're waiting on the decree to be signed and that sort of stuff, so that way that, hey, on this date, you're done, right? And that way you don't have to worry about it.
It happens. I mean, we've
happened.
lost numerous clients.
Yeah. So it's part of it, though. That's an interesting caveat that comes up.
But I wasn't aware that you could do a holographic will like that, and I've not had any of my clients do it or any opposing parties do it, not to our knowledge anyway.
Yeah, that's right.
You just don't
They
know
could
that.
also be circumventing their lawyers in the process.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Now,
It's always fun when they don't tell you everything.
Yeah. Your clients don't tell you everything.
Oh my
That's
God.
crazy. Oh my gosh. I know
Shocking.
everything. Yeah.
once they are divorced, though, then it is basically a really great space to come back to you and say, okay, let's redo this. And not only redo this, but let's look at what we're going to do moving forward.
Yeah. And a lot of times, there normally a reason people got divorced.
Right.
And so I feel like a lot of our kind of talking is, of course, I would want my kids to have the money. But number one, how do I handle child support? Because, child support obligations survive your death.
Right.
And number two, I want my kids to have my money, but I don't want it to be managed by my now ex-spouse. And so all of those are things we can plan around.
Yeah.
We have fewer options with child support. That kind of is what it is.
Is what it is.
But we can kind of put assets in a trust managed by the client's kind of trusted family members, instead of, if we say, you know, our life insurance goes to our kids,
Right.
that's going to go through a guardianship process, and the surviving parent's probably going to be named guardian of the estate.
So the boys go to Josh, but we make sure that he has money to take care of them.
He's going to get
Exactly.
he's going to get $44 a month.
He's going to be so excited.
That's all kids cost.
They're so cheap. They're so easy.
I'll be honest with you. I just want to see I want to see the boys with Josh for a weekend. Just for a weekend. Just for a weekend.
They travel very well.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Tell me, you also do probate.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that. You know, that's basically someone dies without a will, right?
Or with a will.
With will. And you got to go through and do that. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, so it's a very archaic system still. You literally like take your original will and walk it down to the probate clerk, and it's literally someone's job to like blip through, make sure all the pages are there. Sometimes they smudge the ink. Sometimes we fight with them about whether we think it's an original or not, because scanning has gotten so good that I'm like, no, I will come and smudge it myself. I know it's an original.
They're talking about they're over there smudging the ink.
Yes, to make sure. Yeah. And so then you hire a lawyer and you file an application to probate and say, yep, my loved one has passed away. I'm named as the executor in the document. I can serve without bond in the document. I need to kind of come pro forma, get my power. And the whole reason we do this is, like, I talk to clients about this all the time, but the reason we do it is so that we can move assets from a person's name who is not alive anymore and therefore can't sign anything into their beneficiaries' names. And so this whole process is to get a document called letters testamentary, which is literally, it's kind of anticlimactic in some counties. Like in Travis County, it's literally a printer sheet of paper with a stamp on it. People are like, I'm paying thousands of dollars for this, you know.
Yes.
In Williamson County, it's a little prettier, you know. Right. I'm like, it feels a little bit more certificate-like. Yeah. But that is the document that you can go to third parties. You know, you can take that to a title company and say, I'm authorized to sell this person's house and give it to give the proceeds to the beneficiaries, or I can close a person's bank account. After that hearing, I mean, most of them last, depending on how chatty the judge is, 2 minutes to 5 minutes. I mean, they're very quick prove-up hearings. And then we notify creditors and kind of literally publish in the newspaper and say, we're still publishing in the newspaper. We say, you know, this person's died, speak now or forever hold your peace. And we get letters from people who read the newspaper. I mean, it's mostly credit card companies and things. You notify kind of your secured creditors, you notify your beneficiaries, you inventory assets, then you distribute.
I'm curious, do you think credit card companies are paying humans to read newspapers? Is that a thing?
I really do.
100%.
Yeah.
Is that how that
100%. Yeah.
I mean, surely they're working on some like AI thing.
Like scans it, or I don't know.
I would think.
Right?
Yeah. But I mean, they do it wrong. Like the thing is, you know, you can say, hey, creditor, you need to go through this kind of process to bring your claim forward. Right. And we get so much debt barred because they don't do it correctly.
They don't do it the right way.
And so I say all the time, I'm like, before you go paying giant debt, like let's just negotiate it down, or like let's see, you know. People are like, well, we owe it, and I'm like, we might, but we might not. You know, let's like give us some time.
Well, he owed it. We'll talk about
it. Exactly. Another thing people don't tend to know about probate is if your spouse dies, you have to probate your spouse's estate. So most people come to us and say, oh, my husband died, but I don't need to do anything because everything has both of our names on it. But I'm like, if you go to try to sell your house, you can sell 50% of your house. You can't sell the other 50%.
It's going to be hard to get a signature.
A dead person, yeah.
Oh, you just over there with my dead hand doing this?
That's why everything's in my name.
Just for that reason.
Just for that. No, the reason.
Yeah. And y'all do fiduciary litigation as well.
Yes.
Those are basically people are fighting all over things, but also those are basically family law cases too.
They are. And, you know, I always said I would never be a family law lawyer. No offense to y'all's profession.
Everyone says it, but they all get reeled in a little bit somehow.
Yes. And a lot of it is like, some of it is fighting over, you know, people, there's all sorts of elder abuse that happens, things like that. And sometimes, I mean, some of the items I've fought over, which I'm sure you guys have your own, a orange Yeti cooler.
Oh, nice.
And I'm like, I could have bought you another one and we would have never known. There was a diamond ring and I put it on my finger to be like, this for how much money you guys spent fighting on this ring. I put on my finger to be like, how does it look on me? And it was nothing to write home about. I was like, I don't, it's all just emotional. You know, it's like 100%. Similar for you guys, I'm sure. The combination of like grief and money just leads people to do all sorts of things.
Bad financial choices for sure.
Yes.
I recently had someone who just had to have the treadmill
A treadmill
out of the marital residence. If there was only somewhere else you could go
to get a treadmill,
or just walk the fuck outside. Right?
That is true.
Right? Like,
yeah.
am I wrong? Like,
Yeah, I don't think you're
Jesus
wrong.
made a huge treadmill
For
that
you.
sort of spins every 20. I'm just.
If you get a dog, it's almost like a timer.
It's like, you know what? I'm just. Anyway, it's a lot of money, but I'll
It's a
ask.
lot of money.
I'll ask.
Yeah.
It's what it is.
I don't even know how much a treadmill costs, so I can't even.
I don't either. Probably expensive, but
I've
probably
always-
cheaper than the legal fees
Yeah,
to
I
fight
was
over
gonna
it.
say, I've always used the free one outside. So
For your regular run.
that's how much I use it.
Probably similar to the people that use their treadmills in the garage.
100%,
Yeah.
100%. So
I think Papa might still have one with clothes hanging on it.
So fiduciary litigation basically is a space where, hey, you know, two people fighting over the fact that somebody shouldn't have spent something or should have safeguarded something, particularly money, money-wise, asset-wise,
Yeah.
right? And it's business partners, family, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and often it's like family lore that, you know, there was some matriarch or patriarch holding the family together or telling all the family what they wanted to hear.
Right.
And then what you've heard your whole life is different than what
Right.
the documents say.
Say,
And there's
yeah.
all types of fighting about, does intention overtake paper? And the answer is no, tragically.
Yeah, right, yeah.
But a lot of our clients will be like, so this all started in 1850. And I'm like, oh dear God, we have an hour. Can we go to 2010 as the starting point? But it really is like, it's like decades and decades of
Right.
family history
Right.
that leads to
the space.
very expensive fights.
Again, is that a thing too, where it's kind of like the trust in the will, where you kind of look at them and be like, like it doesn't make sense to do this. Like, does that make sense? Like, cost benefit analysis isn't right.
We do that a lot. And I say, you know, I used to say, like, I really want a pool in my backyard and you can fund that pool. But,
Right.
like, I will be the only person that wins in this scenario.
You don't get to come swimming.
No. And I've kind of let that one go, but it really is like I tell clients all the time, and we have our team tell clients all the time, like, there are a lot of people that believe in things for the principle of the matter.
100%.
And the principle of the matter is very, very expensive.
Yep.
And so I'll tell people, like, I don't think this makes financial sense. If you want to do it and you'll put up a big retainer and I am like fighting for something that is legally possible,
legal
I'll
possible,
do it.
100%.
But very few people, and I'm sure you guys feel this way too, but like after a trial, you don't feel like justice has been served. Like no one walks away being like, thank
winner.
God, only the truth came out. Like you
Yes.
sit there while the other side says all the things that you know aren't true. And I've told you to like keep a straight face and be
Stoic,
so
yes,
stoic.
yeah,
And
yeah.
like, and so I tell people, I'm like, you know, you're not gonna get a sorry and you're not gonna get like this. Like, I'm like, what is justice? You know, like, what does justice mean to you?
Right.
Because often it's like, I don't want our families to fight. I'm like, well, suing people is definitely the way to never get together at Thanksgiving again.
It makes
You're not going to fight. You're also not going to talk.
Right,
Yeah.
I was gonna say, That's
Yeah.
good time. We do the same thing. We have a saying, and the saying is very simple: that principles are expensive.
Yes.
And oftentimes we look at clients and we have to explain cost benefit analysis here. You know, whether it's a reimbursement claim or whatever. You know, even sometimes it's an enforcement claim. You know, and you're just like, it's going to cost you 3x
Yeah.
to go get a piece of paper that says that person that owes you that money still owes you that money.
Yes.
And
then you
they're
got to
not-
collect
right,
on it.
You still
and-
got to
yeah.
go, do the things. And so it's difficult, but it is a lot of cost benefit analysis.
But you're right. It's the grief and it's all
Yeah.
the feelings that go into it. And all you can do is advise them, let them know that financially you're likely not going to come out ahead here. But if this is
Yeah.
a fight that you want to fight, then let's do it.
Well, and I'm sure you guys do this, but we spend a lot of time being like, let's think about like what a win would be. And for most people, like the grieving part can't start until you've stopped trying to solve all the problems.
Right.
And so I'm like, we might get 3 years down the road, you've gotten some semblance of success here or a win, but you're tired. You haven't started grieving yet. You have your own life and family at home.
And you're also out tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, if not more at that point.
right.
I mean, I tell
Yes.
people, I'm like, going to trial is so expensive. Like
It's
we almost
insane.
never do it anymore because I'm like, it's just not worth the money.
It really is a space of it's a space of managing emotion,
Yes.
managing some sort of feeling that they're having, and helping them with it, right? And that's okay. That's a big part of it. It's the reason we hired Sandra, so she can help them with that, and I don't have to.
You're not good at it.
I'm not good.
I'm
at it.
shocked.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Thank you.
I met you today and I'm
thank you.
utterly shocked.
Thank you, Riley. I appreciate that. I'm very welcoming and heartfelt. And what are you giggling at?
I will say I bring my little 25-pound Australian Labradoodle to work every single day.
As
Really?
a therapy dog.
I almost brought her today and I was like, I don't know these people. I don't know if they're dog friendly or if they're going to think I'm so weird if Ellie sits right here.
You would have been the first person with a dog on the podcast.
That would have been a fun title.
That would have been
But I really feel like that's part of her job. And
Yep.
I mean, a lot of times I'm like, I can hand you a tissue and I can hand you my dog.
Yes.
And then I'll sit here when we're ready to get
Right.
back to the legal stuff.
Just let me know. Let me
Yeah.
know when you're done.
Yeah.
I know.
But it's the balance of like validating, like, this is so hard and
Right.
this is so scary. And I have lost people before.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot imagine carrying the weight of like a bunch of words I don't understand and processes I don't understand while carrying that weight. With also being like, what you're going through is not uncommon. Like
Right.
we've done this a gazillion times, and I can
right.
tell you how it's going to go. And we
But
talk all the
it's
time
it's
about that
scary,
balance
yeah.
of the empathy of like, I'm so sorry, while also saying I'm well equipped to solve your problem, and I know how this is
Right.
going to go. And they're always like, but you don't know my family. And I'm like, they're all kind of the same.
Same, right.
You know?
We say it all the time. They're all the same. They're all different. We talk about family law cases, right?
Yeah.
They're all the same. They're all different.
Yeah.
I've done it. It's scary, right?
It's scary.
It's scary because it's we talk about on our side, this is the most important thing in your life right now.
Yes.
The biggest thing you got going on.
Yeah.
Like, this is bigger than your job. This is bigger than your car being broke or the the AC
Well,
going
and it's like
out.
temporarily life ruining for most people.
100%.
Yeah.
So it's up there.
And it's like the give a shit factor. Like that's what I say I want people to feel is like kind of like you guys. There are a million people that can do what we all do.
Right.
But it's like, are people going to feel like we give a shit?
Shit
Like we
about it,
care
yeah.
directly about their lives and their kind of hearts and what they're going through while also recognizing like there's some problems we can't solve. Like
Right.
it's going to hurt for a while and it's going to be hard. But here are the 2 or 3 things in my lane that I can make a little easier.
And that's 100%. It's like, hey, you've got a lot going on. And that's why we try to use Sandra in that space of saying, okay, we have a lot going on. Let us focus on the legal stuff. Let her kind of help triage a little bit of this emotion you have going on and get you in a space to someone that can help you with that.
That's
right?
awesome.
So you
Yeah.
don't spend tens of thousands of dollars over here of us
Right.
going, I don't know, man. I know it's
Yeah.
hard, right?
Yeah.
I also need your inventory and appraisement.
Yes.
Can I have your bank statements?
Oh
Yeah,
my gosh,
exactly.
the bank statements.
They like pivot back to I'm like, okay, so circling back.
Circling back to this.
Yeah, I'm like,
right.
oh no, yeah.
And
It does.
It's
It
part
sucks.
Of it.
Yeah,
it's part
it
of
is.
it. It's difficult, like you said, trying to manage that and do that. We try very diligently, just like y'all try to make people understand that we are here. We can handle it.
Yeah.
But we also,
And not minimizing things, but explaining that, we don't want to take advantage of you financially. And this costs the same amount,
Right.
whether or not you're getting legal advice throughout the process
Yes.
or not.
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
hard. All right. I'm going to do this.
Okay.
I'm going to let you plug it one more time because it's so amazing firm name, and URL.
Yes.
Go.
Hardy Alcozer, 𝒞𝒶𝓈𝓈
Nailed it. We were just doing random acts of marketing right there. That's
Yes.
what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a part of that.
Thank you. And
See?
this is a random act of
See?
marketing. It's
See?
not on
There you
any
go.
plan. And here I am
Yes, see?
in real clothes on a
Yes.
Friday.
I know.
Your husband's going to be very proud.
Yes.
It's so amazing. Guys, thank y'all for joining us this week. Thank you so much for hanging out with us and Riley. If you have any questions, you need a will or you need a trust, you have questions about probate or fiduciary litigation, don't hesitate. Please reach out to Riley and her team, and she will help y'all get through any of that and answer any questions you have with a 25-pound labradoodle on top of that.
Yes.
Right? Is that
And
right?
that's right. I only have my phone to show you guys.
Thank you guys for hanging out with us. Stay tuned for next week. We'll have more fun stuff.
Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you next Friday.
Thanks, guys.